Did we get any feedback from Rolling Stone on why SportsCenter wasn't one of the top 100 shows of all time?
You're not bothered by it.
Well, I was, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. But even if you could mention Chris Berman and Keith Olbermann, I don't care if you're going to do a summary of it, but just SportsCenter top 100 shows, I would think, right? Over Freaks and Geeks or My Simple Life or whatever that show was. Do you know what the kind of hard work we put in at SportsCenter?
I always like Spin better.
I got Friday Night Lights at 24 on the list.
It's a good show.
This same writer put one of my favorite shows, Northern Exposure, on his worst 12 shows of all time, even though it won every single award there is. So I'm out of that list. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm with you, Dan.
Yeah. Okay. You can be honest with me now. Well, I hope you're always honest with me. Fritzy, should SportsCenter be one of the top 100 shows of all time?
Paulie may have mentioned it the first time around, and I tended to agree with him that it's more of a news program that's very entertaining. But I see like top shows, something you can play back, and it's not like all completely dated from news information that happened months or years ago. So as great and entertaining as it was, I don't know if it fits this particular list.
Okay. Paulie?
The reason it wouldn't be on there is because technically it's not a scripted show. It's a highlight show. I mean, I know it's scripted from the point of view you do have a script for your reads, but it's not, it doesn't fit the list to me. It shouldn't be, there should be a separate list. It's one of the most important TV shows of our generation, if you include everything. But if you're saying greatest TV shows of all time, yeah, I would put it on there. Yeah, because if you have the Bill Maher Show, which is a news talk show, it's not scripted.
Yeah, HBO Real Time. Seton, should SportsCenter be one of the top 100 shows of all time?
Well, I'm going to sort of parrot what Paulie said, but it's sort of always been my take, was that it doesn't fit on this list, but if it was the 100 more important shows or impactful shows, I would put it on there because of how much it changed sports. It changed the sports landscape and how it's portrayed on TV. So I would put it on that. One of my problems with this list is that they do have game shows and things like that on there, which you can't have, Happy Days in the same thing as Wheel of Fortune. Like, they're two completely different things.
Well, Jeopardy.
Or Jeopardy.
Yeah,
whichever is
Jeopardy's
on there.
Yeah. But you can watch Jeopardy, and it doesn't matter when you watch it, that it can be from last year, it can be from last week, and you can still be entertained by it. Fritzy's saying if you watch SportsCenter, if it's a day old, then it's hard to replay that.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, McLovin.
I definitely put it on, but I'd like to cap the year. I know that's totally, because I feel like the SportsCenter I grew up with and, your SportsCenter, Chris Berman's SportsCenter is a different product than today's SportsCenter. And I like today's SportsCenter. I just feel like the things changed a little bit.
Well, you can get SportsCenter anytime you want, whereas it used to be you had to come to us. Now it's we're going to come to you. So it diluted the product. And, so this appointment viewing is not there with that anymore. Yeah, Paul.
If it makes you feel better, 60 Minutes also didn't make the list, and probably for the similar reasons that it's much more of a news show and that it just technically doesn't make it.
More important show, 60 Minutes or SportsCenter in TV history?
You're going up against a big one there.
Yes, I am.
But it's a fair question because it changed the way people live their lives.
It changed a lot of things in going after big business, the interviewing.
24-hour sports.
Yeah, but you also had the correspondents became household names with 60 Minutes. And look, 60 Minutes is probably a more impactful show in the history of TV because of the stories that they took on. But, SportsCenter's place in there, is on the short list of most impactful shows of all time. Yes,
TV Guide did, years ago, did a list, and they had 60 Minutes as number 6 on the greatest TV shows of all time. They had Seinfeld, I Love Lucy, The Honeymooners, All in the Family, The Sopranos, 60 Minutes.
Is SportsCenter in there?
That's changed a lot.
Yeah.
This is from the early 2000s.
Yeah. Yes, McLovin.
I feel like 60 Minutes, whenever you see a Vice Sports or an E60, they owe a little bit to 60 Minutes.
Yeah. Well, I'll watch Vice. Sometimes I'll you see that they're trying to take it to another dimension. They're taking it to a different level.
Oh, Real Sports too,
Yeah,
I meant.
yeah, Real Sports has done a great job as well. It's been a very impactful show. Maybe Rolling Stone does that. Most impactful TV shows of all time. Yes, Steve.
One of the things that SportsCenter you can say about that is that nobody's been able to duplicate it perfectly. I mean, the people have been trying for 30 years, and nobody can quite match it.
Yeah, it looks easier said than done. In fact, I applaud NBC and NBC Sports Network for getting out of the highlight business and trying to compete with SportsCenter. Fox Sports thinks they can still do that. You can't. It's hard to change somebody's viewing patterns. It really is. And I do think Jay and Dan are as talented as anybody who's doing this. They're very talented guys on Fox Sports. It's just you're not going to get – you have to have content. You have to have an audience leading into it. And then you better be really good when they show up. Being a rights holder certainly helps out as well.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.